Hi everyone, my name is Leen Vandepitte and I work at the Flanders Marine Institute, VLIS in Ostende, Belgium, where I'm responsible for the World Register of Marine Species. And in this short video, I will talk about WoRMS as a taxonomic data standard. Now, WoRMS, or the World Register, did not start right away as a World Register. It was initiated in 2004 as the European Register of Marine Species. And based on the success of this European register, the decision was taken in 2007 to expand its content to cover all the oceans and seas. And thus WoRMS became the first authoritative list of names of all marine and brackish water taxa worldwide. Now, Aphia is the database behind the World Register, and it contains a lot more than just the global register of WoRMS. From within the Aphia database, we can generate global, regional, and thematic species registers. And the major advantage is that all the information is only added to the database once, and based on tags and content, the information can be displayed through several online registers. WoRMS is being governed or managed at 3 different levels. And the biggest level is the editorial board, because they are the driving force behind the content and the quality of WoRMS. And very important with the editorial board is to realize that all their input is based on voluntary contributions. Now, a big group as the editorial board has taken into place a steering committee. Those are elected members from within the editorial board, and they are responsible for the day-to-day business and the priorities of WoRMS. And there is a rotation system within the steering committee as well. And the third level is the data management team. We support the editors, we support the users, and we are responsible for the IT developments. And we are all based in Ostende in Belgium, where we share offices with a number of European and international initiatives and projects. Now, WoRMS itself is part of the Aphia platform, and Aphia can capture a lot more than just taxonomy. It also allows the storage of a lot of related information. All the information in WoRMS is backed up with a source, which allows both the editors and the users to easily backtrack information in the database, or to consult the publications for other relevant information that was not stored in the database. Now, each taxon name in the database has a unique identifier, an LSID. And these LSIDs are stable and are the core of the taxonomic information in the database. And based on these LSIDs, data exchanges with other systems can easily be set up and managed. And also within the database itself, it has major advantages. Now, let's take an example from WoRMS, the breadcrumb sponge. This species has been described over 60 times in history, and all the names under which it has been described are linked back to the currently accepted name. Through WoRMS, users can get an overview of all the synonyms and an indication on why a particular name is no longer valid. Each of these names has its own specific LSID and makes it possible to link everything together again. Now, there's also a lot of ecological or attribute traits information in the database, and these vary from biologically linked to ecologically linked and importance to society. And this last category already has received a lot of attention as it is a highly relevant topic. Importance to society includes, for example, the World Register of Introduced Marine Species and the documentation of the IUCN Red List categories into WoRMS. Skeleton information has specifically been added upon request of ecologies, specifically whether the skeleton contains calcifying elements or not, as that helps them in their research on ocean acidification. Now, WoRMS is being used and seen as an international standard by a multitude of organizations and projects. It can, for example, be used as a quality control tool to verify the used taxonomy and local lists and databases. And copies of WoRMS are also being integrated into other databases, projects, and data systems to make these systems more complete, or to use WoRMS as their taxonomic database. Other global registers are offering their content to WoRMS so that WoRMS in its turn can become more complete And two major databases that share their content are, for example, Fishbase and Algaebase. Now, many researchers and labs and institutes make use of WoRMS as a quality control tool or to simply verify a list of names that they have. The intensive usage of WoRMS is, for example, reflected in the large amount of peer-reviewed papers that refer to it. Now, in addition, WoRMS plays an important role in European and international networks and projects. Within the LifeWatch project, for example, WoRMS is a major contributor to the species information backbone, providing input on various levels there. WoRMS is also the taxonomic backbone for the European EMOTNet biology project, and all the European species and their related information are integrated into the Pan-European Species Directory Infrastructure, or PESI. Internationally, WoRMS contributes, for example, to the Ocean Biodiversity Information System, not only as a taxonomic backbone, but also with the type locality information of marine species. Catalog of Life, EOL, and GBIF also receive copies of WoRMS to make their own systems more complete and as a taxonomic check. WoRMS also makes sure to connect to genetics by providing deep links, for example, to BOLT and GenBank. Now, retrieving information from WoRMS can be done in several ways. If you're looking, for example, for just one species name, then the taxon search is the most straightforward. There's a simple search and there's an advanced search. And at the top, you can also toggle between marine only or all and extant only or fossil included species. Now, if you have longer lists of species, then the taxon match tool can be used, and this tool allows you to upload your own list and match it to the content of WoRMS, retrieving output as you define it. And a manual is available online, and also extended services like taxon match are available to the LifeWatch species information backbone. A third option is the web services themselves. You can make use of those, and they're fully described on the website. And we also provide some example implementations and a help desk. If you would like to know more about WoRMS and the host institute of WoRMS, which is VLIS, and some of the related projects, these are some links that you can consult. And we also have some literature that gives some more background information on the database. All questions and feedback are always welcome, and there's just one address that you need to remember, which is the info@marinespecies.org. So thank you for taking your time watching this video, and please don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. Thank you.